Hello everyone! On Thursday, CIG made its posting on Spectrum via CIG, introducing flight blades shape your ship's behavior. What are flight blades? Flight blades are making your ship faster or more agile. You cannot have both. Reaction to this was not exactly fantastic. 215 upvotes, 6070 thumbs down, 3721 clown faces, 3381 poops, 3317 PKs, 3108 money bags, 2975 face palms, 1872 replies. Why is this? Because CIG is selling the new flight blades only for real money. You cannot buy them in-game for Alpha UEC at the moment. According to CIG, this will change in summer, then flight blades will be available in-game for Alpha UEC. And now we got an official reply from CIG, Silo CIG, Tyler Wittgen. But this thread pretty much broke Spectrum. It loads very slowly, I guess because it has too many replies and way too many emojis. Because of this, Silo CIG, Tyler Wittgen posted the same thing in a separate thread.
Throughout Star Citizen's evolution, one fundamental principle has remained paramount. Everything you pledge for to support our development will eventually be attainable through gameplay. Your contribution helps push things forward, but your time in the verse should be equally rewarded. We're pushing 11 patches this year instead of 4. We're crushing more bugs than ever, building more exciting content, moving faster than ever to make the persistent universe a better experience for everyone, and in moving that fast, we missed a step.
This is one of the most blatant examples of corporate speech of damage control. Tyler, you want to tell us we are getting 11 patches this year instead of 4? What are you smoking? What are you talking about?
Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining.
If I am very generous, then we had 4.0, 4.1 and 4.1.1 this year, almost half a year's over, but there was very little new content and very little bug fixing. A small 0.1 patches that only fix a few bugs are now counted as full patches. Is a patch that is only in the game for Invictus now a full patch? And what happened to 2025, the year of stability, playability and bug fixing? Remember this? Letter from the chairman, December 2024, 2025, a focus on playability. As we jump into the new year, our primary focus across our Star Citizen teams is clear, improving playability. Our drive for playability surrounds 3 critical areas: performance, stability and content. We are 5 months into 2025 and so far we see very little of this. Freight elevators are still broken and even cargo crates don't work right now. Containers are not snapping into place. We still have massive interaction delays, lags and do-things. And I'm willing to bet it won't be much better at the end of 2025, the year of stability, playability and bug fixing. Most CIG employees are still working on Squad 42. We only have a skeleton crew for the PU.
To be clear, the new flight blades will be obtainable for Alpha UEC in our next patch this June. We followed our usual approach by offering early access on the Pledge Store to help support development. But after some reflection, we've decided that for smaller components like flight blades or bomb racks, they should be available in-game at the same time they appear on the store.
Again, 100% damage control. But after some reflection, we've decided that for smaller components like flight blades or bomb racks, they should be available in-game at the same time they appear on the store. Who do you think you're fooling, Tyler? Maybe you're doing this now because of the massive backlash and not because you had some reflection?
The choice has and should always be yours. If you want to support the project early, you can, but it's not required. If you own a game package, you'll be able to pick these up with in-game currency in our next monthly patch. And for future gameplay kit introductions, we'll ensure these items are obtainable in-game on day 1.
I hope this is true, but I'm not too optimistic. For example, CIG told us many times they will inform us about price increases of ships in advance. Price increases that break CCO chains, but CIG still increases ship prices without telling us in advance.
Thanks to everyone who's weighed in, especially those who brought the heat constructively. This game has always been shaped by the community. Star Citizen wouldn't exist without your passion and support, or your scrutiny and feedback. We hear you, and we take it all to heart.
And this thread isn't exactly going down well either. 679 upvotes, 1597 thumbs down, 888 pooks, 743 PKs, 610 clown faces, 412 thumbs up, 403 poops. I think CIG is getting low on money. They lost money in 2023. We don't have numbers for 2024 yet. Of course, Star Citizen is a very huge and very ambitious project, I give CIG this. But such a project needs someone who can lead it, but Chris is not the right person. According to Carl Jones, CIG is at $1 billion, and this was months ago. But Chris wasted most of those $1 billion on things he likes. Eye candy, fluff, time sinks, cool cinematic, and of course, his interactive movie Squadron 42. A project as huge and ambitious as Star Citizen needs good planning, thinking things through, thinking in advance, something CIG never does. Instead, we are getting reworks of reworks of reworks of reworks, which of course waste a lot of time and money. Yeah, CIG never has a plan, CIG never thinks in advance, CIG never thinks things through. In year 13, we are still missing basics, basic mechanics, some very basic physics. The game is still lag hell, interaction delays, massive do-things, even of players moving at player speed. Of course, server meshing will fix this, but so far we don't see much improvement with server meshing, but it's a tier 0, of course. We all hope that dynamic server meshing will bring some real improvements. I can tell you one thing for sure, we will never get a game Chris promised us. The best we can hope for is a mediocre game with just 5 star systems, almost no aliens, boring and repetitive gameplay, and even this 1.0 is years away. Do I want Star Citizen to fail? No, of course not, but have no trust in Chris and CIG's management anymore. Remember, for example, this Polygon interview Chris Roberts, March 2nd, 2015. By the end of this year, 2015, backers will have everything the original pledged for, plus a lot more, Roberts says. But of course, our intention is that it's a much bigger, more expensive future game than I've ever considered we could do. Let this sink in, this was March 2015, more than 10 years ago. More than 10 years later, we still don't even have 10% of the stretch goals. If I want to burn my money, I can just do it, Chris. I don't need you for this. I wasted a lot of money on Star Citizen. I'm way past concierge because I love the idea of Star Citizen and I believed in Chris and CIG's lies. I am very willing to give Chris more money to buy more ships, but I need to see some real progress. We need acceptable lag and do things. We don't need rust in space. For example, right now, people are using their Idris with the big eraser laser to grieve in Hunt the Polaris mission. It is total chaos. It is so obvious, even now in year 13, CIG still has no idea how to make an MMO. There are very little to no consequences for griefing. Chris, why don't you hire people who know how to make an MMO? Do I think Star Citizen is doomed? I think as long as Chris is making the decisions, nothing will ever improve. Over the years, Chris has removed a lot of very good devs and surrounded himself with yes men. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye, auf Wiedersehen.
Chris is an amazing young man. He wears dresses occasionally, yes, but don't we all have skeletons in the closet? It's not something to judge the man for, it's something to celebrate. And we celebrate Chris around here on the set, whether he's in his can-can outfit or not. We love him, we care about him, and we ask him to get some help. That's all.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.